This is the Simpit. I'm your host, Shaun Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pit Stop, the Friday edition of the Pit Stop, where you, the pit crew, you are the real star of today's show. Was that different? I changed the pace just a little bit on that one. I don't know if you guys enjoyed that or not. I feel like I always come in a little too strong, especially for a Friday. I'm all jolted on coffee. I've been up for hours, gathering news, working on projects, doing all that kind of stuff. So happy Friday to everybody. I'm in a great mood. It's Friday. Friday is fun. Friday is the beginning of the weekend where we get so much time to do some sim racing and all of our favorite hobbies. For the most part, some of you don't get weekends off like normal people, myself included in that list, by the way, but I have a lot of fun things planned. So I was talking with our audience at Twitch, so Simpit Live on Twitch. Before the show, we do our pit stop show over there, so check us out at Simpit Live on Twitch. But someone noticed that I have the ROG, Race of Republic of Gamers, ROG Bezel free kit. I've talked about this on the news. In fact, I think I even have, I believe, yes, this is what I'm talking about. These things are $109, and I've mentioned it before. I'm going to mention it again. The theory is essentially it's going to make your bezels disappear. So if you run triple monitors, this thing goes between it, and there's like a lens. And I put these on my rig on Wednesday. But one thing that I never did, I never really researched much. I just saw they were available, and I ordered them. And I'm seeing they have a 2 out of 5 star. Oh, that's only 1 rating. But if you read down here, it says fits size of up to 27-inch monitors with slim bezel, in parentheses, super narrow type or 4-side frameless type. Well, if I have super slim bezels, do I really need to pay $109 to make them disappear? Isn't that the whole reason that you buy slim or bezel-less monitors? My monitors are ancient. Now, they are 27-inch, and they are at least 120 hertz because they're 3D monitors, but they have giant bezels. So when I put it on, it uses these spring-loaded clamps. Yeah, spring-loaded clamps to hold the bezel, the lens right up onto the bezel. I think if your bezels were combined that wide, the two of them, it would work like a champ. In the case of mine, they need I found the further I pulled it away, the better it did the job of making. So what it did was it took my bezels, which are this thick, and made them look this thick. And if I took the lens further away, I could make it disappear, but it was kind of odd. Anyway, I still am not done. And as you know from my 3D projects, speaking of which, this is the final version of my LED strip. Here's the main rev light bar, my right warning indicator, and my left warning indicator, like flags and things. And then here's the Arduino box, which will be tucked behind my monitors. This is going on my rig today. I'm very excited. This is the final version. I designed and made and 3D printed my own enclosures. It came out just perfect. It was exactly why I bought the 3D printer. It was actually a different project, but this is exactly why I've wanted one, and I was able to take care of that. In addition, I'm going to do a plug. See, I am wearing pants, Joa. I've been promoting this, but I'm going to just make it official right now. I have not finished it, but I'm going to finish this today. This is the giveaway version, and this is by far the nicest one. There's a little glue on the outside. It's not perfect. It's a DIY made by Shaun, but with the enclosure, this 37 LED bar has some substantial weight to it. I am going to put the Arduino box into this backward logoed Simpit Arduino cover. It's going to have about this much length of wire, and it'll be nicely heat shrunk over it. And this is the giveaway one. I'm going to give this away to somebody who watches the show or enters our contest. The contest will go live on Monday, and I'm going to give this along with SimHub software so that you can operate it. Anyway, I'm very proud to give this away. It's one of the first things I've ever built myself and given away, and I hope that it will be appreciated by whoever wins it. So anyway, 3D printed. 3D printed. I've been a maniac with that printer. Anyway, This was a fairly simple challenge. The Bezel Kit, which Wednesday I discovered I needed it further away. David Payne, how much money are in the parts and materials? If I owned my 3D printer already, by the time this is totally done, we're looking at about $18 for this one. It's really cheap. That's including software, by the way. So, I was going to need my bezel kit to hold the whatever you want to call them, the optical microstructures is what they call them, further away from my monitor. So I designed this, and it came out really close. Really, really close. But what this would do is it would go into there. This little ridge offers the resistance it needs to hold it on my monitor, and this would allow it to hold the lens this much further away from where it was originally built. It came out really close. It fits into this perfectly. This mounting point needs to be moved, and it needs to be a little bit longer and a little bit narrower, and this will be perfect. I'm going to print 4 of those, and I'm going to retry this with the Shaun Cole 3D printed adaptation. And then if it works, cool. If not, I'll put them in a box, and maybe someday I'll have slim bezels and want to give it another go. So that is the story behind the story of what's been going on over here, and it should answer the question. Someone asked, are these worth it? I gotta say no. At $109, no. Bezels only partially bother me. It's one of those things I get used to, and it stops bothering me. The normal sim markup. I'd have to make it nicer to be able to sell it. So if you see there's some glue marks, those aren't perfect. Yes, there's a nice hole for the LEDs to shine through, but there's no, like, clear lens. My heat shrink tubing, I don't really have the best heat shrink tubing supply. So you see how this is kind of stepped? There's thicker and thin spots. It's going to look a little like that. The finished grommet, and it might look like this on the bottom. That's what my other one looks like. I have the wires coming out the bottom. Arduino boards are kind of weird with the way, and it wasn't built thinking of the enclosure. So there are some flaws, I have to admit. But there you go. There you go. Monday, you guys. We're going to start the contest, and you'll be able to win this. So, all right. I guess that's all kind of news. It's Simpit news. I notice my camera's cutting my head off. Do I not look bald? Is there a point? Like, can I do this and... The BMW M4 GT4 is coming to iRacing. Okay, the BMW M4 GT4 is coming to iRacing in 2020. Thank you, John. I warned you guys. Didn't I tell you guys? I've been telling you this is going to be the year of the DIY. We're going to do a lot. Like, from here, I'm moving on to a DIY wind sim. That's one of the next things I want to do. I, believe it or not, want to build a wheel out of plastic. Paul Victor with the donation. Thank you so much, Paul. Thank you, Thunder. Yeah, so we're gonna do a lot of DIY stuff coming up in the near future. So, Paul, that is the way to announce your presence with authority, isn't it? So, anybody recognize this car? Okay, so I know this BMW Turner Motorsports, right? That's the name of the company. I've watched this car for, I don't know, this is the paint job they've been doing, Turner Motorsport. How long they've been running that paint scheme or something very similar? Many years now. It's a really known car if you watch IMSA racing. And it was also the car, isn't this the car that was in The Art of Racing in the Rain? And if you have not seen that movie, whatever you do, don't watch it. And if you are going to watch it, definitely don't watch it around anybody who you want to be manly near, because this movie will bring you to friggin' tears. Worst mistake I ever did. I watched this movie, The Art of Racing in the Rain, on a plane. Like, you're in that tube, vulnerable, you're trapped, and I'm watching The Art of Racing in the Rain, and I'm almost bawling in my seat, and I'm like, oh my god, all these people are watching me. It was such a bad choice. Anyway, the BMW M4 GT4 is coming to iRacing in 2020, so that's more content that you can start saving your money for, right? What else? Oh yeah, so here, this is cool. Look at that hand scanner. So this is the iRacing guy, obviously at Turner Motorsports. BMWs everywhere, that's kind of their thing. David Payne, you know what we're going to do tonight? David Payne, we're going to have an official practice for the Dallara F3 race on Sunday. I need to do an attack the track, even if it's my own variation. It is a good movie. It's an okay movie. But it'll make you cry. If you watch that movie and you're not on the verge of tears, then you should probably go to a therapist. Like, you're too aggressive, or you don't have feelings or something. Anyway, tell me I'm wrong. Anybody who's watched that movie and it didn't make them cry, I gotta hear it from you. Now, it's about a guy in his racing career. It's about a guy with his woman. It's about a guy with his dog. Yeah, it's a tough movie. I'm going to start crying right now just thinking about it. All right. So check out the hand scanner this guy is using on the BMW. Man, now I got a 3D printer. I really need one of these scanners. I really do need one of these scanners. Check this out, though. You can see it laying the grid, the laser grid, and you can see even the curvature of the car in that grid as he's hand scanning it. That is badass. You can see little dots. I'm sure all those little dots were put on the car as reference points, is my guess. Probably giving them the ability to have exact measurements or something. Anyway, yes, that's very cool. It's cool, two parts, new content, and it's cool getting to see what it's like scanning a car. R Factor 2, a little more notice on things like this would be nice. R Factor 2, I mean, we do cover the news all the time. I don't remember mentioning that R Factor 2 is going to be at the Rolex 24-hour in Daytona this weekend. So tomorrow, let's talk about tomorrow and what a triumphant day tomorrow is. Tomorrow is the real life Rolex 24-hour. And I heard we're going to have 24-hour commercial. Oh, did he Thunder? I don't remember seeing that. Was that on his private channel? I don't remember that being on the iRacing channel. That thing's got to be... What's your guess, if you had to guess how much that scanner is? I'm guessing that's like 10 to 20 grand. We can try to find Greg Hill. Let's try Greg Hill iRacing. Not seeing Greg Hill. Greg Hill's semi-private, but Greg Hill. I'm not seeing him. All right, we don't get that. Anyway, okay, on with the show. R Factor 2 is going to be there doing that Sim Fan Cup 2020 competition. Fastest lap of the weekend gets to compete in Munich against other drivers from all over the world. So talk about an easy entry point for what's going to be a big competition. This is... West. All right. Well, we'll have to look. Anyway, we got it. We saw the scanner. Check it out. There it is. Is that Greg West right there? I don't know. I've never met him. Greg West iRacing. That's a tape measure. That's them doing the work on the chili bowl. Oh, this is kind of fun. I'm not seeing the scanner, though. Did he say how much it was? Oh, John, how dare you? I'm a cyclist, but I understand your dogs. Yes, I understand dogs and cycling do not mix. All right, back on with the show. R Factor 2. So again, anybody going to Daytona for the Rolex, I'm very jealous. And number 2, if you're there, you got to go find the BMW Motorsport stand and enter the SimFan Cup. Because I swear, if you're watching the show, chances are you're going to be in the top 10. Might even make top 5. And if you're the winner, you go to Munich on BMW. How cool would that be? How cool would that, Alex? I hate cyclists. You are a dog. Thunder, you want to send me a link? That would be most helpful. Also, the R Factor 2 Lunar Sale. 50% off on R Factor 2. So if you go to Steam right now, you'll find R Factor 2 in all its glory. $15.99, 50% off. Are there packs on sale as well? Don't know. I don't know if those are normal. I think those are normal prices. But R Factor 2 is 50% off and ends January 27th. They're a menace. Joe, I cannot take this hatred towards cyclists. That doesn't... All right, hold on. We're going to try to get that. We're going to try to do live. I don't know what to do with that link. It's not working. All right, on with this show. Cody's blog talking about the Solberg Livery Challenges coming to Dirt Rally this January. Take home a piece of rallying history with the Solberg Livery Challenges coming to Dirt Rally 2 in late January, kicking off January 24th, so that's actually today. We have some cool retro, I suppose, honoring the greatest, arguably the greatest of all time in rally racing. So what do you got to do to get them? Peter Solberg is one of the legends of off-road racing. In the early 2000s, Peter was... With the Peter Solberg Livery Challenge, it's your turn to drive the same car and earn the livery from this final victory. Check below for the details. So starting today and running for 3 days is the Peter Solberg... Is it Petter or Peter? I'm probably ruining it. I'm American. It's Peter. But I'm educatable, so tell me if it's Petter. The Peter Solberg Livery Challenge begins on January 24th and lasts 3 days. Players can drive any R5 car at Monte Carlo and do not need to own the DLC location to take part. Ah, that's good to know. Do not need to own the DLC location to take part. When the event is closed, everybody that set a time will get the livery in their My Team rewards. The Oliver Solberg Challenge kicks off January 31st. In that one, it'll also last for 3 days. Players can drive any R5 car at Wales and do not need to own the DLC location to take part. When the event is closed, you'll get the livery and your team rewards. And then the Per Ing Walfridsson Lancia Stratus livery is available now. While on the topic of Solberg's, now a good time to remind you of another livery, okay? Back when we added the... Anyway, you got that as well. Petter? Not Peter. Petter. Petter. Thank you. Thank you. See, you can train me. Oh, but we can argue all day long of the greatest of all time. I am half Canadian now, for sure, Joa. I'm ready to jump the border. What else? Codemaster's talking about it being that time of week again. Time for the racing line. There's absolutely zero information here about Cars from Grid Season 2, which is not 100% true because they have this image here with the posting saying, let the speculation, ... So what is this thing? I couldn't figure out. It looks like a Citroen to me. Is that the rear end of the Citroen? I don't even know if it's a real car. Anyone know what that car is? I'd love to know. That is in the Cody's racing line, part of their Cody's blog that came out yesterday. And they're talking about dirt rally competitions. They're talking about F1 2019. And they're talking about Grid and the upcoming DLC with that image being one. So anyway, you should never generalize about anybody or take everybody for their own individual worth. Okay, what are you guys talking about? That's a green car. Kevin Inarelli, what's that all about? What'd I miss? Forza Motorsport. So they have two competitions right now with liveries, or I should say cars, as the prize. So the 2018 Lamborghini Huracan Performante has arrived. I've driven that car. It wasn't a Performante, though. I've driven a Lamborghini Huracan. Unlock a sports car that reimagines performance boundaries by completing 50% of the autumn season. So if you go into Forza Motorsport, actually I believe it's Forza Horizon 4, and you run 50% of the autumn season, you will be rewarded with that car as one of those. What do they call those? What do they call prize cars? They're unicorns. That's not a unicorn though, right? Unicorns are cars that are like, there are only a handful of them in total existence. What do they call a prize car, though? And then also posting, it's your last chance to grab the 2006 Hummer H1 Alpha open top, at least while a Hummer is still a gas-burning vehicle. Earn this car by completing the Summer Nights Seasonal Championship in Forza Horizon 4. Thank you very much, No Aim. I very much appreciate that. We try to do things different here. There's a lot of really good sim racing content in the world to choose from. We try to do something different, something unique, and I think we're really getting in our own stride now between the news, the DIYs, the reviews, the projects, the racing. Got to get back on interviews. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Best thing you can do, when we're live, I don't have a pen, I don't take notes, I try to remember things, but if you ever have suggestions for the show, anything about it, please email me, SHAUN, Shaun, at thesimpit.com, always looking for input. But yeah, I'd like to hear who you guys think we need to interview here on the show and get some interviews up and running as well. So, all right, moving along with the news, let me clear my throat. So we talked about well, I'll show you, not tell you. Remember we talked about the Audi e-tron? Excuse me. Jay Weaver. I thought I saw that earlier, and I see your exclamation marks. What was the problem? We talked about this on Monday. Jay had a problem with his gas pedal not working in R-Factor 2. I threw out some suggestions. Other people threw out some suggestions. But most importantly, Jay Weaver solved it. So what was the solution? So this is the Audi e-tron as we wait on word from Jay. But now they're showing this one. Only one picture. Anyway, the SRT, the Dodge SRT. Did I see the word Tomahawk? Why do we only get one image? That seems kind of silly, doesn't it? GT Sport. Not sure what's coming out of Gran Turismo. It's interesting to see them showing off all their vision concept things this time of year. Just reading your guys' chat. I'm entertained. I am really entertained. Thank you. Oh, Assetto Corsa Competizione is 40% off right now. Good. No, Marquise, I do not know, but we should look into that. You know, I'm thinking Race Room is not. I need to re-look at my tabs. I almost need to send myself a email, or I won't remember. I have to look. I have to double check my tabs. It's missing a few things, and Race Room might be one of them. Automobilisa 2 boss interview. All right, now you guys are making it. I got to get a pad, don't I? Or a piece of paper. I've got a pen, and I've got a file card will work. All right, what did I already forget that I wanted to do? Well, there was interviews. Tabs. Race Room? Question mark. Anything else that I'm not doing? And interview. AMS2 boss. All right, I'll keep a notepad handy. Of course, if you have something that you need me to add to my list, exclamation mark so I see it. If it's a question, hit me with some question marks and then your question. A second vote. Find Greg Hill's tweet. All right, I'll do some work. Do I have a video I can play you guys? Do you guys want to see me drive a Lamborghini Huracan while I try to find the video that I want? Is that a fair trade?
All right, I'm Tom, and I'm with Shaun Cole, and we're in the Lamborghini Huracan for 5 laps. Is that right, Shaun?
Yeah.
Awesome, buddy.
Hell
You
yeah.
excited?
Yeah, I'm super pumped.
Yeah, this car's a lot of fun to drive. So once we get out on track, just like your other car, double orange cones to your brake zone, so just make sure you're braking firmly but smoothly from the green orange cones all the way down to the single green turning cone. Start turning in, slowly releasing the brake, and applying a little bit of throttle to balance the car to the apex. Once you're at the apex, then you can start accelerating as you're unwinding the wheel and moving the car all the way to the outside of the track. Once the steering wheel's straight, track straight, then you can go full throttle to the next set of brake cones. The mirrors are all adjusted for me, so I'll worry about what's behind us, you worry about what's ahead of us. Car comes up, they want to pass us, I'll let you know. Place my hand on the wheel, you keep your hands on the wheel.
Now, should I let this play, or should I...
Hazards off, car goes back to you. Catch you slow. Sense would tell you to track out to the right to set. Turn in, turn. There you go, just like that, staying to the left.
I can watch this all day.
In. So staying all the way out to the left. Dive straight in, handbrake in. Ease off the brake, out to the middle, start looking through the corner. There you go. Back down to your apex, a little bit of throttle. Unwind out to the exit, just like that. That's kind of what we teach. Stay to the right, yeah, brake hard, perfect. Downshift. Turn it in, patient on the throttle. Stay to the left.
I can take a break.
Turn it in, a little bit of throttle on the way out. There you go. So on this turn, I actually cheated a little bit and go over the red and white curbing right there on the left,
Right?
so that I can get on the power sooner. So maybe try that.
Okay.
There you go.
We need to do our own Simpit 2020, don't we?
Got your brake, turn it in, back on the throttle.
We'll do it our way, though.
There you go.
Alex, they let you go as hard as you want to go. I mean, no BS. It was really amazing. It blew my mind
Oh, we should have downshifted.
how much they let you push these cars.
Third there?
Yeah, probably.
They encouraged you if you knew what you were doing. Why? Look at how good I'm doing. Thunder. Hear it though? I'm pushing it hard. I'm not messing around at all.
Mine looks really good.
Theodore, they've actually closed the California Speedway version of this.
Brake, downshift, so right here. Yeah, so I turn in now. And then get down, yeah, sink, and then get back on the power.
There we go.
Hey, Billy Strange Racing. All right, is that enough of... All right, that's enough of the Lamborghini. Unless you guys wanted to hear the Ferrari. Okay, Sim Pizza 2020. We're going to get that going. I'm going to get a poll going. I'm going to have to pay for that, but we'll do it. It's time. Yeah, I don't do passenger. All right, so the challenge was finding the Greg Hill post. And here we go. So that's why I needed the intermission. Yeah, John, you were there. It was windy as can be. Azar, no, that guy was on point. So I did really well with him. So let me give you a comparison, though, just to be fair. All right, we're getting selfish. I feel really guilty showing you guys these because it's like, oh, look at me. But, okay, so here is the Ferrari.
Last time, and how many laps we're driving?
Shaun?
It's a very... Turn in, on the inside, apex left. All right. Listen, what
yes,
you're doing there
and there's a
happening.
free wreck fest going
You gotta
on,
slow down with the hands.
I have that in
You gotta see where everything is.
Okay.
So, if you think you're overdoing yourself, back off.
Okay.
And then we'll start from the beginning again, okay? So, downshift to third, attack this corner. We're gonna go wide.
Here. I just started ignoring this guy.
Pretty hard, downshift, turn in. You gotta have your eyes way down the road, okay? Brake really hard, downshift, turn in. Nicely done. Didn't brake hard enough.
It was so expensive, but I tell you, it was so fun. Oh my god, it was so much fun.
Brake, turn in. See where you are, where you're
Too late.
Yeah, very late.
Harder here.
Harder, there you go. Head through the corner.
Yeah,
there.
totally. Oh, this guy.
Now you see where you go.
Okay, now. All right, since we're doing it, I can't help it, sorry. Now. I guess I haven't released these, have I?
Okay, I start the video. Hello everybody.
This might be the first time these are being seen.
Okay, squeeze, I mean squeeze the throttle. More. And brake a little bit more, okay? You can brake a little bit later, okay? Apex, look where you want to go, back on the throttle, and squeeze full gas. And brake super hard. Brake more, yeah. Turn in, yeah, it's okay. Back on the throttle,
John.
Squeeze, more. Allez, brake straight. Super close, turn more, yeah. And full throttle on the left.
No, there were no four bangers. The smallest motor they had there would have been a GT4 Cayman, I suppose.
Gotcha. You brake a little bit too early.
Too early?
Yeah,
okay.
Just stay on the paint, little bit of gas, stay.
Let's get down the hallway.
Back on the left. Allez, full gas. Unwind. Yeah, super, really good. Back on the left. Allez, brake out, brake more.
Leave me alone. I know what I'm doing. Okay, on with the show. I'll release these videos so you guys can watch them if you're really interested. It was a lot of fun, well worth the money. It's not a promotion. They gave me nothing, but it was a lot of fun. Yeah. All right, so here's Greg Hill, Greg Cole, that's my brother, testing out the laser scanner. Look at this thing. That looks like some photon torpedo launcher by your hand out of like Alien Resurrection or something. Oh, the Porsche GT3 was by far the best. By far. I'll give you the nutshell. The Ferrari was a little twitchy, a little raunchy. a little nasty, and a little all over. But it was really the best sounding car by far. The Lamborghini was so smooth and so... The ABS and the traction control are so good that it was, I hate to say it, too easy to drive. The Lamborghini, like, just almost wouldn't even let you make a mistake. I did get it sideways a little bit. And then that Porsche was just right. The Porsche was like a little raunchy, a little nasty, but totally in control at the same time. And it just begged you to push it harder and harder and harder. So by far, the GT3 was my favorite to drive. The Ferrari was my favorite to listen to. And there are parts of it that were my favorite to drive too, because it was raw. It was a little raw compared to the Porsche. The Porsche seemed far more refined, funny enough. Anyway, there's the reference dots that we were talking about in his computer. So that's actually the asphalt. If we go back to picture 1, hard to see, but I'm assuming his son, brother, I don't know, friend is putting down the dots for the camera to see. And then the up close image looks like this when we're really, really looking at it, the way the computer sees it. Let's see here. Day 3 at Wilkesboro. This is back on the 11th. Our scanner greatly prefers dry ground. So, these are kind of cool shots. Are we going to have to add Greg Hill to our watched on News Prep? No aim. I believe you can drive most of those cars in Assetto Corsa. I think you can drive all of those cars in Assetto Corsa, now that I think about it. No comparison, John. It's so much easier to drive a real car than a sim. I mean, like, when I get in a real car, it doesn't take me very long to find the boundaries. And a lot of it is like that seat of the pants, because I just feel like I am very quick to know and feel when the car is starting to break loose in any direction, allowing me to really start pushing the limit very quickly. And I dare say I still don't know that boundary in sim. The balance was similar, but I don't know. I think if I could drive the same track, the braking points, the shift points, and the driving line would be very accurate to the car. However, yeah, it doesn't... I mean, I'm a far better real-life driver than I am sim driver. I really do believe that. I know that. I'm a much better. In real-life competition, I did fairly well in the group I was running against. So, yeah, I'm a very fast driver in real life. In sim, I'm good, but I'm not as good. All right. Moving on. What else does Greg Hill? There's, North... Look at that old... Man, that's cool. I love the old look about it. Speaking of, is that just part of the retired track? And here's another day. I know, yeah, here's him scanning a helmet and what you see on the computer. Oh, man. I don't know if any of you work in those kind of industries, but if anybody ever wanted to donate one of those to the Simpit, I can tell you we'd use it a lot. You know, it'd be much appreciated. All right, thank you, Greg Hill, and thank you, Thunder, for pushing me to go get that. WRC World Championships, World Rally Championship, which is what WRC stands for. Their official eSport WRC kicks off today. So or was this yesterday now? Oh, this was yesterday. Do we have results? Why am I looking at... Hold on. Do we have newer news that I'm missing? Oh, here it is. So now you can actually watch the actual race that went on. So, sorry about that. Why'd I scroll so far down? That's the 20th. Right here. Sorry, you guys. Anyway, that big eSport went on yesterday. I totally missed it. 2020 is the biggest year for eSport WRC Team Championship. Over 14 teams have answered the call, proving their mettle in the rallies and aiming for the title of champion team. So here are the various teams that are involved in it. And do we know any of these? I don't. Why did I scroll down so far? Yeah, I would imagine there are very varied results depending. But I think that hand scanner is what they use for items versus I think it's a different scanner that you use for the entire track. Maybe they, I don't know, but I'd love to see a show on that as well. We can try to do an interview. Greg Hill's not big on interviews. Laser scanning process. We'll see what we can do. Team Mentalism, there's their roster of 6 drivers. Anyway, here's the link. I haven't seen it. Looks like 11,000 people were watching it.
Steering wheel.
And
this is Thomas
that's Alan Boyston of
CEO
Team
of
VVV
Fanatec,
interviewing
and you produce these
some of the drivers.
incredible steering wheels.
I'll be straight in the seat. T, a bit struggling here, will win the golden. I'll win here at the Invitational.
I'm not going to spoil it. It's Friday. You guys probably need something at work. You want to watch the finals of the competition that went on yesterday? Go over to WRC on, it's WRC 8, the official game on Twitter, and you can watch it for yourself. Confirmation of a date. So here is the pedal, but this is the first time it's been at Thrustmaster. So everything we've seen were spy photos or unofficial, but this is a picture of a pedal set. It's got a spring on it like the ones we've seen, and it says February 13th. So big news. Big news. I'm not going to say if I do or do not know about and have any communications with Thrustmaster on this topic. I'm not going to mention if I have any insider insight to those pedals or may actually physically see these pedals at some time. I don't know. I can't say anything, to be honest with you. It would be wrong. Anyway, February 13th. Yeah. I mentioned, so Darren Ganji mentions back in the day we were given as the NDA still stand on that? We actually tested load cells that were built for the T500 pedals way back when it came out, or maybe a year after its release. And it didn't work out so well. So here we are like 5-6 years later, and what we think what we think are the Thrustmaster load cell. Apparently we'll know more on February 13th. I don't know if they'll be ready for sale. Knowing Thrustmaster, they'll announce it with them like being ready for sale. We've already seen images of the retail box. What else? This is cool. All right, go do this. Want to get your hands on an Area 51 laptop courtesy of our friends at Alienware? Reply with in-game footage of your most impressive overtake in a McLaren car, any circuit, any game. Basically stage a video. You could use the AI in oh no, I don't know if you can use a McLaren in iRacing with the AI or not. Somebody can tell me if you can or can't. But yeah, this computer, well, not that, no, but an Area 51 laptop on the line. All you have to do is send them a little video, use any game, any circuit, as long as it's an impressive overtake in a McLaren. It could be run in, I mean, you could run the McLaren in F1 2019. Hey, Paul Victor! Oh, I'm really, thank you. That means a lot. And I mean this completely, Paul. Thank you very much for the donation. And at the same time, what you said there, you know, I never know if this show has value. I mean, it has a pretty fixed number of people who watch it on a regular basis. And I'm like, is that really the best direction? I got to tell you, when I hear that, it is. Because for me, I love sim racing. And I love talking about sim racing. And I love talking about the parallels of sim racing. And anyway, thank you very much for your kind words. But get out there. You can win this. Go to the McLaren Shadow on Twitter. Send them an image of you passing. I mean, you could use the F1 2019. You could use Assetto Corsa. You could use iRacing, I do believe. Just get an image, a video. Reply with in-game footage of your most impressive overtake in any McLaren car. Any circuit, any game. And then they had this. Check this out. Now, is the only point... Now, this is McLaren Shadow. Oh, they retweeted. So I thought, is this a new Super Sim coming? And they're teasing us in some sideways way. Thank you. Thank you. So anyway, this looks like the driver's cockpit. Like you can see that front bulkhead at the front leading edge of it. You can see kind of where it would go back towards the scoop. Looks like a driver bulkhead. And I'm like, oh, is that a new simulator? Their caption was Spot Baby Yoda. And anyway, there's an image of Yoda right here posted on the window. That was their post. I got all excited thinking this was McLaren teasing some new sim, but then I realized they're retweeting regular McLaren. It wasn't posted by them after all. Anyway, go win a computer. Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you very much. That even more if you're not even actively sim racing. Thank you, Thunder. Thank you. I try to be an all-around good guy. I try. I'm not perfect, though. Far from perfect, but yes, thank you. All right. Did we ever get an answer on how you fixed your pedals? Did I miss that? Was that Jay? Jay, was it you with the pedals? I missed that. I was waiting on an answer, and I think I got distracted with Lambo. We already talked about the Bezel Kit. That was at the beginning of the show, the top of the show. Humble Bundle, Humble. Project Cars 2 is now on sale for $14.99. That's 75% off. That's a pretty screaming deal. I thought you were talking about when I saw your pit lane limiter, I thought you were joking about the Lamborghini or something, and I just didn't get it. Now I get it, Jay Weaver. Thank you. So you can get Project Cars 2 for 75% off, $14.99 at Humble. Wreckfest is a good game, and they definitely made it more of a game than a sim than it used to be, but it still has great value. If I wasn't working on the Porsche every Saturday, then we would probably be playing Wreckfest tomorrow. Maybe we can do some Wreckfest tomorrow night. I'm going to have to see if we can rally the troops, but Wreckfest is super fun. You can try it out on Xbox this weekend. I think you need to have Xbox Pass. While you're there, you can play Zombieland and Double Tap, whatever those are. What else? No thanks. Grand PX News has an article here. Sim racing, great preparation for 2020, says Max Verstappen. They talked to Max Verstappen. They talked to Atzi Kirchhoff, who is Team Redline's manager, about how much Verstappen has used sim racing in the off season to keep sharp and ready for 2020. You got to think about the new era of Formula One. Lando Norris, Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, These guys are all actively sim racing now, and I think you're going to start to see the benefit on track in the not too distant future. And just imagine, we're probably only about 3 or 4 years away from every single guy on the grid. You're going to get some of these older guys that start dropping out in the next few years, and they're going to be replaced by kids, relatively speaking, and I'll bet you all of them come with sim racing experience and embrace sim racing as a way of staying sharp. And you know, you're always working on your hand-eye coordination. You're always working on your timing, you know, and being sensitive to braking zones and turn-in points. You're able to attempt challenges that you might not have the balls to do in real life. And you look at, you know, a modern Formula One driver, there's tremendous pressure to place higher, to win. And being able to go inside and see how far you can push the braking. You know, we've learned that things that are accurate about sim racing are things like braking zones, shifting points. So it could be Dennis Christensen. Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. Thank you very much, buddy. So anyway, there's an article at Grand PX talking about that in those guys' words. Hooniverse, you know, I'm not going to go into great detail. I didn't read a word about it. But if you're at work and you're bored and you want to know more about Hooniverse's take on running the iRacing 24-hour Le Mans. So they ran 4 cars. I saw some of the driver names, and I really didn't even know who they were. But this is from Hooniverse, the guys who are now famous motorsport. And I bring it up 2 reasons. It's a quality article. Reese 0318. Thank you for following us on Twitch. Simpit Live at Twitch. One of their cars won. And anyway, it's them telling the story. But the more important thing, it's a good read if you... I assume it's a good read if you guys want to go check it out at Hooniverse. But more importantly, again, this is one of those areas where they're a mainstream media putting the word out to the general public. Yeah, most of their articles are not sim racing related. So this is a trusted media source for the regular people and getting their introduction perhaps into sim racing. So that's where I kind of like. As soon as the camera stops, Evil Cole. I'd like to do that, Eric. That sounds like a fun series. Azar asks, how on earth can someone downgrade their simish to a game-ish? Azar, I don't know, but it did happen coincidentally. I misuse air quotes. When they did their expansion from PC only to multi-platform. So it was the big release. That sounds funny. It was after big investment from, is it THQ? I can't remember who bought Bugbear? I don't know. But they're a smaller developer who got bought by a bigger developer, and one of the next moves it was to make a multi-platform version of the game. A lot of new content was added to the game, and with it, a massive change to the force feedback that I still argue just doesn't feel nearly as good as the original. And people would argue, I have friends who say everything's great. Looks like our YouTube just took a hiccup. Not sure what went on there. Probably time for me to do a modem reboot. Hey, another tip. Look at that. No Aim donated $10. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Like I said, you know, when I'm buying, you know, this was something I picked up and just bought to be able to test, to be able to find out if it actually works. And we're going to do more with it as we get it fine-tuned. But it's only because of donations that I'm able to do that. You know, that's the only way the Simpit can afford a 3D printer in order to be able to do these DIY things. So it's very much appreciated. All right, moving right along. What else? We got a few more things. Actually, we're almost to the end of the show. It's coming up on 10. It's been a great show, great Friday, great way to kick off the weekend. Thank you all for being here. So GT Planet talking about the Sydney World Tour event for Gran Turismo GT Sport. This is the first time they've ever been to Australia, by the way. GT Sport World Tour 2020 Sydney confirmed for February 15th and 16th. So we're going to have the next edition of that competition, which has been really good, entertaining competition. If you watch any eSport things, GT Sport has always put on a good show, but now it's going to be going down in Sydney. I'd like to go down to Sydney and check that out. A lot of you guys make fun of me, and it's fair. When I drive a Dallara F3, for example, and I love my Xperience wheel. I really do. And the one thing about it, though, is I have this giant wheel. It's like 13 inches, and it looks like I'm driving a truck, admittedly. But it's a wheel that's worked well for me driving anything from NASCAR to a Dallara F3. But I understand the clowning. Anyway, I've mentioned twice now, I think, that Accuforce or Xperience came out with a new Formula rim, a totally cheap, like affordable Formula rim. It's not a $300 Momo. This is a $80 bolted on your Accuforce or any 70 millimeter. Anyway, Mike at SimRacing 604 actually got one. So he put up a video
and this
with his unboxing,
very nondescript black box
impressions, and I'm not going to play it. I'm just
same
going to show
obviously
you.
is here.
There it is.
This
you
is
can see it.
the original wheel, 300.
I wish I had it for Sunday's race. I don't. Word is I have one on the way, so I will be able to put it on my rig, and people stop laughing at me for using my giant like this one when it comes to running my F3. Thank you, Eric. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. He runs our sponsor on his iRacing cars. Our stickers are available as the stickers you can select on your paint jobs. I appreciate that. And anybody who ever wants our logo, just send me an email. SHAUN, Shaun at thesimpit.com. And I will send you a logo kit. Do I think GT Sport is worth buying if you don't think you can set up a wheel to your PS4? Yes and no. Oh, I made my brother a Thor's hammer, and apparently it's taken off at his work, and people want him. He's a manager, and he has to knock on doors, and I made him a Thor's hammer to knock on doors with, and now everybody wants one. Thunder Motorsports, I will send you stickers. I'm in a good mood today. If you would send me this offer is to everybody who sends me an email within the next hour. I know I'm going to get emails for days. I do have Simpit stickers, and I will gladly send a Simpit sticker to anybody watching the show right now. Email me, SHAUN, Shaun at thesimpit.com. You need to do this, though. In the subject line, it has to say !stickers or free sticker. I need to be able to find your email or I will miss it. Anybody who wants a Simpit sticker, they're about this big. They come in black, orange, white, or blue. Tell me what color you want in the email. Give me your address, and I will send you a Simpit sticker. Paul Victor, I have gone through several different phases of merchandise depending on what you're talking about. I have a friend who does 3D vinyl, and he does very high quality, like 3M proper, good laser cut 3D vinyl. And he does my stickers. They're very expensive as far as stickers go. I could get them for a third of the price online, but I like the quality. That's my stickers. My t-shirts. I did 2 batches of I did a batch of silkscreen t-shirts that were supposed to be orange and white, and I bought a whole bunch of them. But when I went to get them, thank you, John Hill, if you're still here, because he helped me do that. I got orange, black, white, and blue. Orange, black, white, or blue. When I went to pick them up, they were red and white. That's not my colors, so I had them remade. And I got my orange t-shirts, which I did sell out of. And then they sold me these for half price. So I took them because I'm like, I don't really care, but I wanted orange and white. I'll take red and white. So these I've done as giveaways, and I still have a handful, but I'm not sure what sizes. And then Thank you. I'm looking forward to the Formula Wheel. And then I did open up a cafe press to take care of other little things like the t-shirts we've done for endurance races, but I haven't promoted it, but that's also where like the coffee mug was. So yeah, that's how I've done my merchandising. What I really need to do is pull it together, clean it up, consolidate it, and then make it available to everybody is what I really need to do. Yes, anybody wants stickers, you can check out the quality. Simpit merchandise. If you guys want it, I will put some energy. If anybody has any recommendations of places I should go for that, I'm always ears. Shaun, SHAUN at thesimpit.com. Hey, Jay Weaver, thank you so much. Thank you. We will definitely put that in the coffers for our next big project. Ricky Thompson getting a blue sticker. Thank you, Ricky. I will get that on the way right away. All right, moving right along. So Accuforce does have an option, an inexpensive option for those just looking for a bolt-on 70mm wheel. That's nice because, again, a Momo is going to be like $300 for a sim wheel. That isn't needed. This was posted today, and it kind of touched my heart. If you go back in time a little bit, when R-Factor was the king of the hill, R-Factor 1, when places like R-Factor Central were in existence and really making R-Factor thrive and making it so, one of the things back then in that era of sim racing, I would tell people, if it's an iconic car, and if it's an iconic track, I mean a car or track that has any kind of following in the world whatsoever, you could do it in sim racing. And back in the day of R-Factor 2, I think that statement was more true than today. Today, licensing is a little bit bigger of a deal. The modding community is not quite as enthusiastic as they used to be in some cases. You could argue that. I mean, there's a lot of mods for Assetto Corsa, don't get me wrong, but licensing is a bigger deal than it used to be. We're a lot more in the face of the real-life world and hiding in our niche that we've always been doing. So, anyway, going back in time, Mad Cowie was one of the greatest modders of all time. Or is, you could say. Was implies something's happened to the guy. Nothing's really happened to him. He's not modding for the PC sim world anymore, but life goes on for Stuart Mad Cowie. Stuart Cowie, Mad Cowie. He is now Mad Cowie Production Games, and he now is making like application type games. So we're watching a video. I'm not sure which one that one is. Here's the video. Early access now available on Xbox One. Not now. Join Mad Cowie Productions group on Facebook. So early access, Xbox One. Join here for more details if you're interested in. You were talking about a PS4 or Gran Turismo without a wheel. Never answered that question, did I? For me, it wouldn't be worth it. If I'm going to do a console title, I'm just going to get a cheap wheel and put it on a wheel stand. But if I really wanted to sim race GT Sport, I'd bring my PS4 into here and I'd run it on my center monitor. Well, that wouldn't work with my Accuforce, but in theory, that's what I would do. I don't think, for me, there's no value in playing a serious sim game like Gran Turismo like that. If I want to play like that, I would play the new version of Wreckfest. I would play Mario Kart or something that's a little less serious and embrace the arcadeness. Like, if I have a control when it comes, and I'm not, this is me. I am not trying to tell you what's right or wrong. Hey, Rick Thompson, how you doing, buddy? VRS, no, but I am taking notes on things that you guys want to see, and that is a great one. DD Wheel from VRS, and see what that's all about. I love it. Emil 910, the GT4 stuff, that was the BMW M4 GT4 being added to iRacing. I didn't get an exact date, but they're showing off some pictures. I got sidetracked by laser scanning, actually, never even got into the story that far, but Yes, the BMW M4 GT4. They scanned the Turner Motorsport, the one that was in the movie. Oh, I don't know if it's literally the car, but Racing in the Rain. But if you follow IMSA, you know the Turner Motorsport. My guess is that's the livery the car is going to come painted in when you get it. That's just my hunch, just a hunch that I've got. But yeah, for me, if I'm going to play with a controller, then I want to bring on the arcade aspects. And this is the highest compliment to GT Sport. If I'm playing something that I consider a little more serious, something that I play to drive for real, well, then I want a wheel. So that's when it's like, well, no, only if I'm going to hook a wheel up to my PS4 would I really care about playing GT Sport. And then I'm all in. Sure, give me a TGT and GT Sport, and yeah, that'd be fun in the living room for sure. Anyway, okay, what else? Eurotruck is also on sale. I was playing Eurotruck yesterday. I was even playing it in motion. By the way, little feedback. I see Darren of Xperience is here. I haven't updated my commander here at home, but I was at the shop yesterday and was testing Eurotruck on your new UI update for Sim Commander update, I should say. It fixed American Truck and Eurotruck simulator. I didn't have to do anything versus I was in the workaround world. It worked. So anyway, good news there for Sim Commander. Yeah, if you have Sim Commander and you had any trouble getting American Truck or Eurotruck running, just do the update and have it refine your game and everything will be fine. So anyway, what else? 75% off on Eurotruck. Look at that beautiful car. Race Room, Daytona International Speedway and the Porsche 911 RSR coming soon. What? Where did we find this? This was the story we wanted, but it isn't the way we wanted to find it. So we are extremely excited to announce 2 new pieces of content today. This is coming to us from Sector 3 Race Room that we know are ranked very high on the community's wish list. Daytona International Speedway and the Porsche 911 RSR 2019 edition. Daytona needs no introduction. As host of the annual Daytona 24, which starts tomorrow morning, is one of the most popular tracks in the U.S. We started working on the track end of last year and hope to release it in Q2 of 2020. We promised you another Porsche race car coming this year, and within the 911 RSR, we checked off the last remaining puzzle pieces in the current Porsche Motorsport lineup, running the GTE GTLM class. This car will bring a new dimension to Race Room we are sure you will enjoy. Oh, no date. So there you go. We've got our Race Room new content, Daytona International and the Porsche 911. That is I should have made this my photo of the day. That's a beautiful photo right there. That looks like a brochure photo. I mean, let's be honest. Seriously. Does that not look like a brochure photo? Not even a game photo? That's what blows me away right here. Simelitist. No, I'm not a simelitist. Maybe they fixed it. Oh, okay. That's weird. Maybe Steam fixed it or something. Yeah, who knows? Well, it's working. If you had trouble, it's working. Danny Hood says, check out EK Sim Racing for substitute for Fanatec software. It seems a lot easier to use. I'm not going to pull it up, but we've certainly talked about I've used EK Sim Racing stuff for a while. Definitely a good option for many things, not just substituting Fanatec software, but controlling other things as well. So I don't mind giving EK Sim Racing a plug, but you'll have to go check them out yourself. I'm not going to pull up the page right now. Let's check out a few rigs, talk about our Dallara series, and then we're going to call it an end of a show. Here's a cool looking rig. Upgraded his setup from a T300 and wheel stand, and indeed he did. Is that a purchased, or is that just his own design? I think that's his own design 80/20 rig. I'm going to give this guy a big pat on the back if I got it right. I'm not sure if that's a kit. Is that the kit? Can't tell with that size. Can we blow it up? NRG Energy. Is that a brand? You can see the Accuforce wheel. He might need one of those Formula wheels as well. Are those Husingfeld pedals? I can't tell from here. Oh, yep, they're, hey, now we're getting to it. Yeah, those indeed are Husingfeld pedals. And who's this? Boom. Anyway, there you go. JCL has bracket. Yeah, there are a handful of rig companies doing this now. I just put together a open sim rig OSR for a. Speaking of OSR, look at this guy's wood rig that kind of resembles the OSR 5020 profile in a weird way. Check that out. Eric says that's handmade. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought that's a do-it-yourself kit. You know, somebody gauged it, bought the brackets. Does he give us any details? All right. Finally got his new rig set up, upgraded the wheel. He's talking about his Thrustmaster T8 shifter. JCL seat and wheel rig. JCL. That's a JCL. Oh, there you go. There you go. Ganji had it right. Running the Accuforce Pro V2 pedals and Husingfeld wheel and the Husingfeld pedals. So there you go. It's a store-bought kit. There you go. But just so you know, you guys could order lengths and build this yourself. I'm still a little blown away by everybody buying. I mean, I understand it because not everybody can plan things out so well. But yeah, I could have drawn this up on a pad. I could have measured my Rseat. I'm going to give you guys a tip. They do a DIY? All right. So I could measure my rig right there. I love my Rseat and I love my driving position. I could take those measurements and I could draw that. I could go to McMaster-Carr or 8020.com, order the pieces and the lengths I need, order a hardware kit, order some end caps, and bam, I'm done. On the cheap. That's how you do it. What's this one? All right. Oh, I got to show off more 3D printing. How weird has this show gotten? Is this show just out of hand weird now? Oh, let's watch the Lamborghini video. Oh, so there's his big giant Nürburgring on the wall. Here's my little tiny, I gotta put it in front of my face so you can see it. Yeah, it's kind of in green screen hell. There's my mini, what is it? Here, I'm gonna put it the right direction. Where's this? Anyone? Anyone? Will elevation change? Whoa! Shoot. Anyone? Anyone? Tiny Laguna! It is Tiny Laguna. Anyway, so what's this one? He's got the double wide. I'm not talking trailer. Double wide profile. And people are asking, where are people getting aluminum rails from? It's the Dream Rig from Modidis. Cost him €266. This one here. Press F for Tiny Laguna. No, it survived. Laguna survived. But it might get new management. All right. Nice looking rig. Sparco seat. Looks like a Thrustmaster wheel. Running VR. Nürburgring on the wall. Yeah, I'm going to have to do a Nürburgring, but my printer won't go that large. I'd have to do it in multiple pieces or just order one. Spa. Yeah, I'd like to do Spa. I mean, in the mini size, I was thinking of doing a bunch of them and kind of like, I don't know where I'd put them. I don't really use that wall much anymore. I'm always green screen now, it seems, other than over there. I like my Simpit banner. I could put them around that, I guess. I don't know. I could put them all on my table. Yeah, I like the elevation. I wanted a topographical version, and I was able to find one, which is really rather amazing. There you go. Necessary? I don't know if it's necessary, but it does make it more rigid. You know, it's necessary. It's not necessary. Get it out of your mouth. But it is better. It's worth it. But you don't need to do the entire rig out of the double wide. So for me, what I would do is I would do the outer box, perhaps, of the base. So a rectangle. And then I'd probably cross brace it with single wide. I would do my uprights with double wide, and then maybe the wheel deck, depending on how you're going to do your design, would probably use double wide, and then the pedal tray could be built out of single for sure, and the seat stand could be built out of single for sure. So yeah, you could do a multi type design for sure. The queen of the double wide. Do a Bristol and a Martinsville. I can look for it. If I can find the drawings, I haven't learned how to draw things like that. I can draw squares. That's what I've learned so far. Boxes, squares. But I couldn't have drawn this, to be honest with you. I found that. In time. All in time. And then this one, which we already looked. He pulls his chair. It looks like a dining room chair with like a towel for a padding. Got his Logitech wheel and a total OSR with this center spine. I guess the Obodo. You could call that an Obodo copy, actually, if you think about it. Nice looking wood rig. Good job. Good job. And then lastly, this is the last thing I'm going to talk about today before we close out the show. Sunday at 1 o'clock is practice. Sunday at 2 o'clock. Sunday. The Dallara F3 Series. I will be here for Sunday's race. Looking forward to it at Spa. So speaking of Spa, we are going to be at Spa in the Dallara F3. There is still opportunity to join our series. You've missed 2 races. I've missed 1 already, so no big deal. It's all in the name of fun. We still have 6 races to go, including this weekend's race. I will be streaming it on Twitch at about 1 o'clock when we get practice going. I will be streaming the race at 2 o'clock for qualifying and then the race on YouTube. And tonight, it looks like we're going to do an Attack the Track. So if you want to come out and practice with us, our password for tonight's event is going to be Simpit 2020. Oh, Simpit 2020. We are so secure on our passwords. If you want to come out and race or practice at Spa tonight, I will be streaming at least the Attack the Track portion of it once I get up to speed. We will get that going today at about, I'll probably open the room at about 4 o'clock, but I'm probably not going to be in there myself until more like 6 o'clock, and we'll probably do a 4-hour session. So from 4 to 8 my time, 4 to 8 Pacific time, there will be a practice room open at Spa for you guys to practice. Password Simpit 2020. Come out. I'll be there at about 6 o'clock for me, and you can turn some laps there. That should be a lot of fun. So anyway, hopefully all of you will turn out, and if you would like to be part of our league, our series, Andrew Leach leading the way with 100 points after 2 events, means he won them both. Randall McGrew in second, and Amir Assad in third. Anyway, all you have to do is go to iRacing, go to the league directory, and search for Simpit Road Racing Series. Send in an application, and I'll accept people all the way until we go live. I'm going to see if there's anybody needing acceptance right now. Members. And manage. No applications. How sad. How sad. You guys better get over there and send me an application, get in there. Now, I think we have about 40 of us signed up, but there's always room. People don't show up. Plenty of room. Come out and join us. Come out tonight and play with it. And that didn't sound right. And then come out Sunday and race with us if you'd like. That's going to do it for today. Again, if you have any suggestions for the show, you hit me up, Shaun, Shaun at thesimpit.com, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Be sure to check us out on Twitch at Simpit Live, and we will be doing some of the DIY stuff. Maybe over the weekend we're going to be able to get these bezel kits on with my 3D printed home designed adapter that'll hopefully make those work like a champ. But that's going to do it for today. Get out there. Have a great weekend. Thank you for being part of the show. Get out there, do some sim racing. This is The Simpit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I'll see you on the track.